Hello, everybody. Welcome to this first webinar for the third open call of DIGIFED. So I see that some of you are still joining, so we are going to wait a little bit and we will start in a few minutes, a few seconds even. Okay, so I think it's more stable now, so we are going to start now. So again, hello everybody, welcome to this first webinar of our series of 4 webinars that we will have to launch the third open call of DIGIFED. Today we will have with us Isabelle Dor from the CEA. So hello Isabelle. And we will also have with us Margarita from Zabala. And the two of them are gonna talk to you about this third open call and present the call. So hello Isabelle. Okay. So before we start, as I said, this is the first webinar of a webinar series. So today we are going to present you the third open call and how to apply. Next week on the 21st of April, same hour, same time at 10 a.m., I will present you our new tool, the networking app, so the DigiFed app. And on this webinar, we at Blumorpho will discuss how to register efficiently on the app, and really the goal will be to present how the registration process from A to Z and how to register efficiently to be able to network with other companies. Then the two last webinars will be meeting the DigiFed technical partners. So we will have AVL, ST Microelectronics from France and Italy, and the University of Ljubljana on the 23rd of April, so on the Friday at 10 a.m. And on the 27th of April at 10 a.m., we will have Ikerlan and BME. So again, before I give the floor to Isabelle, so this webinar will be recorded and published, so you will have access to the recordings. During the webinar, you can ask all your questions with the question box that you have on the right side of your screen. So there's this visual here explaining how it works. Don't hesitate, through all the webinars, you can ask all your questions, and at the end we will have a Q&A session when we will address them. And also, so as I said, you will have access to the recordings, and you will also have access to the slide deck. So recording and slide deck will be made available for you on the DigiFed website under the webinar section. So you have the address of the website here, and you can go to the webinar section and find all the slides from all the webinars there. So I'll now give the floor to Isabelle. Isabelle, you're mute. And
okay, thanks. Thanks very much, Alice. So hi, everybody.
You should be able to control the slides now, okay?
And controls, okay, fine, thanks a lot. So hi, everybody. So I'm Isabelle Dor from CEA Leti, and I'm participating in the coordination of the DigiFed project. Well, maybe more clearly, just to support digitizing Europe's industry together. So DigiFed is a H2020 funded project, which is part of the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative, which is an initiative launched by the European Commission, well, more than 5 years ago, really, to support Europe digitizations. Somehow having in mind that in Europe you have all the actors you need to have. You have companies with usually very good ideas and skills, and you have research center and universities with maybe more expertise, technical expertise, and you have also industrials. We have on the shelves high quality industrial products, and the idea is really to foster the collaboration of all these actors, just to go a little bit, to go faster on the go-to-market, to foster the industry, and to reach new markets and enabled by the cyber physical system embedded systems. So what's in DigiFed? We are 12 partners from 9 European countries, and you can see on the right-hand side, with both research center and university, industrials, and DIH, and digital innovation hubs. The project will last 3 years, and it already started more than 1 year ago. We have a budget of 8 million, and what's very important I want to highlight is that half of this budget is dedicated to cascade funding, or some other way called financial support to third party. So it's really what it's going to be put on the balance to support the SME, the startup, and the mid caps to get new skills, to go further on the digital market, and yes, to leverage on that. As I said, DigiFed is part of this European initiative, the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative. So there are other projects that really are in the same scope, and you have access to, and they offer other kind of funding, still in the spirit of supporting Europe digitizations, and you have also other opportunities that you may find on the website. Okay, yes, oops, too fast. Good. A few words about DigiFed networking strategy, because maybe you already grabbed this idea. It's as we have all the actors, and the really is to help the people working together to work on that network. It's here, but faster to leverage on that. So it's and one main pillar is to build this networking on existing digital innovation hubs and to foster cross-border partnerships, as I mentioned, between SMEs, mid-cap, startups, large enterprise, university, public bodies, and research and technology organizations. This cross-border partnership is really key because in many countries you have national, regional support. If you want to have, I don't know, an Italian company working with STE Italy and with an Italian university. But as soon as you want to be cross-border, because you are very much interested with what is offered, for instance, by AVL, that is in Austria, then it's much difficult to get support. So this support we provide is really to foster European cross-border partnership. To do that, DIGIFED is proposing 3 main innovation pathways, kind of supports, that are listed here below. The application experiment, while you can get, as an SME, you can get funding and technical expertise to develop your own CPS prototype. You will also have access to innovation management training program. And this is really what this webinar is going to present more into details right now. But we have 2 other innovation pathways, and you may have heard a few words about it, but I'm not going to go too much longer on that. It's the digital challenge, which is where you get funding to develop a CPS prototype answering to a large company need. So, and to get access, of course, to a new market. So in that typical frame, we have one a big company saying, well, I have this kind of problem. I want to solve them. I'm looking for a partner. And then an open call is launched, and then you get access, so we get funding both by DigiFed and by the large company. We already had one digital challenge running with GE Draw, and you will have information on that, and we plan to open a new one. And the third possibility is more about generic experiment community. So in that case, we offer to you to participate to technical roadmap of main research center. So you stay in the loop of the latest technological results to be ready for market movements. You get more aware of that. You get some networkings, because the idea is really to gather a pool of SMEs from Europe, having some common concerns, and to work with a research center and to elaborate on the technical roadmap. And well, we have 3 was launched, one was launched last year, and 3 are commonly run, and you may hear a little bit more about it later on. But now let's focus on this application experiment pathways. So it's kind of more dedicated, more precise slides where you get a little bit more information about the generic experiment, the application experiment, and the digital challenge. So the application experiment is the one directly in the middle. So you will have access to the slides, and definitely you will have some more time to read and to go through that more specifically. it's other ways to say things, and this is also available on our website. So about this, so how do we select the company we are going to grant? So we are running open calls. So these slides are really dedicated to the application experiment innovation pathways, the first one that was mentioned on the previous slides. So for that application experiment pathways, we propose 3.5 million of cascade funding, and the target is to select around 40 projects. We plan 3 open calls to select this project to be funded, and up to now we've got 2 open calls have run already. The first one was really early last year, and 14 projects were selected, and this corresponds roughly to a cascade funding budget of 1.1 million euros. For the second call that was run, ended early this year, we selected 16 projects, which correspond to around 25 companies, and with a dedicated cascade funding budget of 1.3 million euros. You have some more information later on about this. We'll say the profile of these 2 calls. And now the third open call was launched nearly 1 month ago, and it's going to be open till the first weeks of June. So we are going to use what's left of our funding budget. So it means we have there will be available a budget of around 1.1 million euros for all this project. You will find all the information on the dedicated web page of the website, and you have the link just below. So what do we offer through open calls? Maybe to give you a little bit more insight about it. So it's what we call an application experiment. It's really our own wording. You have to get used to it. So we offer cascade funding, financial support to third party with a maximum amount of 50k euros, and that must correspond to 70% of the budget you will need to implement and to run this application experiment. These are European laws. That's the way it's fixed. And this funding is used to carry digital product and service demonstrators. You can get technical support by major research center and industrials, and you will get, in any case, innovation management training by Blue Morpho, the company, our partner who is currently organizing these webinars. What kind of company do we target? As we said, we target SME, startup, and mid-cap. They are the only ones that are entitled to receive cascade funding. And we try to target both what we call non-digital, low digital company and already mature company in terms of digitization. Sorry. So what we do foreseen for low digital mature companies, that company that wants to create a first product, a service demonstrator based on digital technologies. And for the more mature company in terms of digitizations, we are targeting company that wants to integrate new digital technologies or increase their digital maturity, that we make them more competitive to go on the market, that we make them go faster on the market. So how is this possible? Maybe if you've been already through the website, you see some kind of keyword, and we are speaking about single application experiment and twin application experiment. So in case of a single application experiment, only one company can pretend to write a proposal for a single application experiment. In that case, they will receive cascade funding up to 50k euros, and you will also get technical support provided by the DIGIFED technology partner that, as we said, must be cross-border, because really focus on cross-border collaborations. I want just to make clear that the cascade funding is what you receive for your involvement in the single application experiment. The DIGIFED technology partner is going to be paid by the DIGIFED project to work with you, to support you on that dedicated project, and you will get innovation management support in parallel to that. What we are targeting in the kind of single application experiment, it's a company that wants to develop a CPS innovation, has a clear vision of the market, and definitely will benefit in very important ways from the technical support that will be provided by the DIGIFED, by one of the DIGIFED technology partners. This is a single application experiment. And we also have a twin application experiments. In that, it's slightly different in that case, that the proposal is prepared and is involving two companies coming from two different countries. Once again, we do insist on the cross-border collaboration, and each of the company is entitled to receive up to 50,000 euros of cascade funding. So what do we foresee for the two company? We have for instance, we have a company one. First company who wants to develop a CPS innovation has a clear market vision and need complementary expertise to validate the concept. And then the second company is going to bring this complementary expertise to realize the prototype or the access to the market. It could be technical complementary expertise. It can be more like, for instance, a customer and end user who is going to provide a kind of more real test bed, full size scale bed, for instance. So as we planned up to now for this kind of twin project, there is no DIGIFED technology partner involved. But in case of this third open call, as we really wanted to push forward the involvement of low digital company, we introduced the low digital twin application experiment. So in that case, we still have two companies from two different countries, but one company is clearly identified as a low digital maturity company. And in that specific configuration, we offer the possibility to request technical support from one DIGIFED technical partner. So yes, try to resume. So we still have the single application experiment with one company working in close collaboration with one DIGIFED technology partner. And then we have the possibility of a twin application experiment. So two companies from two different countries. And in case of one of the company can identify itself as a low digital company, then there's a possibility. Once again, it's not mandatory. It's something we offer. You take it or you leave it. It really depends on your project and your plans and your roadmap and your vision. And then you can have access from a technical support. You can get access to a technical support provided by one DIGIFED technical partner. So these are kind of more general features of a third open call. And now I'm just going to leave the floor to my colleague Margarita, who's going to give you more practical details about the open call 3 for application experiment. So Margarita, I leave you the floor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isabel.
You can hear me well.
Yeah, perfect.
Good morning. Thank you for the possibility to speak to you and present you this third open call of DIGIFED. In the practicalities and the practical activities you need to address in order to present the proposal and the winning proposal. So as just said, this is the third open call of DIGIFED, and the deadline you have to take into consideration and have clear in your mind is the 8th of June, which is the deadline for receiving the applications. The deadline is set by 5 p.m. Central Europe time, in line with the European Commission practice, and this will be the very last moment in which we will accept proposals. Proposals under the third open call of DIGIFED, as always, as also for the previous two, will have to be submitted via our DIGIFED portal for presentation of proposals. So this is the only mean to send and present your actual application. But going to the most interesting details, I'm glad to say that over 1 million euro is available and is expected to be allocated to different proposals in this third open call. This will be our last open call, and we are very looking forward to support further applications and further application experiments in CPS domain. As Isabel said, we have three type of possible applications, so single application, twin application, and low digital twin application experiment. The last one is the most recently incorporated tool, is something that we are experimenting. If you have questions or doubt about the practicality of it, for example, how to demonstrate that you are involving actually a low digital mature company, we are available, and I will have some details later. In order to create your application experiment, we have 6 technical offers available, and from 4 different DIGIFED technical partners. Each application, each applicant, either in a single or a twin proposal, will receive up to 50 €, which will correspond to the 70% of the total project costs. Maybe I'm not allowed to move. Yes, there is just a small delay. So
I think you went too far. So
yeah. Can you move back on my behalf?
Sure.
So I'm not moving. Apparently
So
not moving it. The technical offers. Next.
I'm lost. So do you want me to go back or forward?
I would like to go to slide 11.
Here. That's not the one you want, right?
No, unfortunately, I'm still seeing application experiments. So
I think it's a technical offer you are looking for, Margherita.
yeah,
So it's
one.
13. Yes, yeah, right.
It's this
here
one.
you are. Sorry for this inconvenience. So the technology offer that you can select for your application experiments. Well, we have a full description, full and detailed description in our website that you'll find here linked. You can go through that in detail and select what is mostly interesting to complement your offer inside the application experiments. So as you can see, we have technical offering from Ikerlan, ST France, ST Italy, and University of Ljubljana, ranging from cybersecurity to microcontrollers provided by ST France, as well as cloud DevOps, electrical blockchain switch, big data analytics, and other offering of our partners. The idea for you is really to go through the offering, then contact the corresponding DIGIFED partner, or in general the DIGIFED project, in order to get into the direct contact with the specific person. Or if you want, and if you want to participate to the presentation, just get involved in the next technical webinars in order to get more details on the technical offer of these organizations. Moving on, to complement this technology offer, we also have an innovation program that will help you. Yes, thanks. Finally, it moved. That will help you to prepare the new product service go-to-market strategy, as well as to access further funding and attract private investors. This innovation management support will take the form of a training program organized by Blue Morpho, but also will take the form of other specific activities, like the one on cybersecurity awareness raising offered by Ikerlan, that is currently under implementation with for the applicants of the first open call, is raising quite an interest. So it's really something that can help you in the development of your solution. For example, in the cybersecurity domain, there were questions or support requested in terms of the GDPR compliance. So there is this kind of support that we are giving. Moving on again, now it is moving. Okay, so what do you have to do? Go to the website. There is a registration page. There is inside the open call tree. There are all the document reported and the links to download this document, as well as to access to the registration within the DIGIFED application portal. It's a quick registration. You need to register your organization and your partner organization in case you are presenting a twin. You will be requested few information about the identification of the company, of course, and some preliminary information about the digital maturity of your company. This is for statistical and preliminary information purposes, not sufficient to justify the low digital maturity nature of the company, in case you are applying for the twin low digital option. You have a guide for applicant that details everything that you need to know, ranging from the evaluation criteria to the graphics and formatting rules of your application. And of course, the documents that you have to submit. You have to submit two documents, namely a proposal description, which is maximum 20 pages in total, because it includes front page and some administrative declaration. But consider that the text of your proposal, meaning the real content of your proposal, will have a limit of 14 pages maximum. This is a rule that we have included in this open call, because we have also received previously some very larger presentations. So please, it is important that you stay strict to this maximum of 14 pages that goes from the beginning of the technical proposal to the end, which covers 3 sections that are very similar to those of Horizon 2020 application, for those of you who are familiar with this kind of proposal. So there is an excellence part, an impact part, and an implementation part. So you will be requested to describe the excellence and the quality of your technical solution. You will be requested to describe the impact and preliminary business consideration that you have already available. We don't expect you have the full developed business plan, but it is requested that you have at least first business information to report there. And then the work breakdown structure described in work packages. In the last section, it is important for us also to understand the quality of the collaboration that you put in place among you and your partner, either it is another company or a DIGIFED technical partner, and the competencies that you put in place for this application experiment in order to assess the actual feasibility of the solution, the application experiment you are proposing. Then you have to record a pitch. The pitch is more business oriented. You have a slide tech template, and there is also a very nice already done video of a previous webinar given by Blue Morpho that explains and gives a suggestion on how to prepare the pitch. This is 5 minutes maximum, and is very business oriented and is really part of our evaluation. So don't underestimate either part, neither the technical nor the business part. I hope it worked. So for single application experiment and low digitalized twin application proposals, you need to contact your the selected DIGIFED technology support, DIGIFED technology partner, and we advise to identify it in advance and contact them in advance. do not get to the last moment to contact your partner, because, as I mentioned, the quality of the collaboration and the clarity, the level in which it is described, the collaboration among the partner is extremely important. We had, just for your information, we have a feasibility assessment moment in our evaluation. So if the proposal is not considered feasible by the technical partner that you have selected, it will not proceed to the evaluation. So it's very important that you discuss well with the selected technical partner, DIGIFED technical partner, the feasibility of the solution you want to propose. Whereas for twin application experiments, so in the case you need to do to identify another partner company outside the DIGIFED technical ones, we have you can of course contact the DIGIFED technical team in order to ask suggestion or support. We try to be as proactive as possible in order to help you. But from this open call, we have also the networking app instrument that will be presented by Alice in further details and in a dedicated separate session. And then you have for everyone the frequently asked question section that help you with a question already made in the past. And we have added the live help desk, which is 1 hour per week, in which one of the partners of DIGIFED is available live on WebEx in order to address any question you may have. So you can get to discuss questions that you have on how to present the proposal, how to structure the proposal. This is not the moment in which you get to contact the technical partner that I was mentioning about, before, but it's a moment in which you can clarify any doubt that you have about, I don't know, the feasibility of the eligibility of a cost category, or how to define the full scope of your proposal, whether or not something fit well in our scope or not, and so on. So this is an opportunity for you to really speak directly with the person who is presently live. You will also have a set of webinar and bootcamps. This has already been mentioned by Alice before, so I will not be long on that. And here you have the full list of the appointments, and as well as the link to past event that can be interesting for you. Just to give you an idea of the work done so far under the previous open call, well, we have received over 150 complete application experiment proposal. 147 of them were eligible for evaluation. So this is good because just few of them were considered not eligible to proceed to the evaluation. And the distribution among them, among the application experiments, was quite a bit unbalanced respect to single application experiment, but just in terms of proposals, of number of proposals. Then this is not reflected in the actual evaluation results, in which actually we had a balanced funding among twin and single application experiments. Over 200 applicants companies presented their proposals so far in Open Call 1 and Open Call 2, and over 80% of them were from EU member states. I would like to stress this point because, of course, we are welcoming a proposal coming from companies located in EU member states, but we are also open to applicants from associated countries, so other countries for which we have, of course, the list and all the references and details that are associated to the Horizon 2020 program, and that therefore are eligible to receive funding. So, for example, so far we have received a proposal from Norway, Serbia, Switzerland, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, and UK, of course. So if you have a partner in an associated country, please consider it eligible to participate in this application experiment. The distribution of application received per company size, as you see, most of the application we received were from small company up to 10 employees, but we are open and we welcome proposals presented also by bigger SMEs or mid-caps. So please don't hesitate to participate. And yeah, the previous one was my last one. That is moving, okay. And just to give you an idea of the results, so far we have funded 30 proposals. We have selected 30 proposals for funding. The score was between 15.7 and 15.4 over 20 maximum points. And we have selected 17 twin so far and 13 single application experiments for funding. So they are quite balanced in terms of type of proposals funded. So even if there were much more proposals presented as a single application experiment, as you see, there is no prejudice in any way to funding other twin application experiment. Our evaluation is done purely on the quality of the scores of our evaluation, of the technical and the business evaluation. And just as Isabel has already mentioned, 47 companies are the beneficiaries selected. They are currently implementing their proposal for what concerns those selected in Open Call 1 and in the contracting phase for what concerns the Open Call 2. After presentation of the proposal, we have a kind of 2-3 months evaluation period. We give you the results and then in details with the feedbacks and the information on and justification of the scores given. With that, and then for the selected proposals, there is a follow-up with both the coordinating organization, so SEA, and with the monitoring partner that will accompany you in all the implementation of your application experiment. I stop here and I think I leave the floor to Alice. Sorry for the inconvenience with the slides and thank you for your attention.
No worries. So wait a second, I'll get the control back. Okay. So I wanted to discuss with you quickly before we go to the Q&A, the DIGIFED app that we have put in place. So on this slide, you have the link to go to the app. We will have a dedicated session next week. During this session next week, we will show you from A to Z how to register, how to be efficient in your profile description so that we can use it for the matchmaking and so that people can find you to apply with you. So it's a really interesting tool because it allows you to network. So it allows you to meet other companies interested in DIGIFED. And there's also a messaging feature, so a direct messaging feature. So as soon as you find someone that might be an interesting partner for you, you can contact them directly and plan various further calls and discuss. So it's really a networking app, and it allows you also to do the matchmaking. So we will help you with that if you need matchmaking, and you can also do it on your side. And then also on this app, you will see that there is also a lot of posts, and so we post some news and events on the app. So it's a really interesting tool. So I really suggest that you come next week if you're interested in these features, and we will really take the time to show you and go deeply in the description of this app. So that's it for me. Thank you, Isabel, and thank you, Margherita. We will now go to the Q&A. We have several questions in the question box. So the first question was, hello, could you share with us the hit rate, so the number of grants, number of applicants, so the ratio for the two first calls? Maybe I've missed this info already. So I think, Margherita, you mentioned it, but if you want to maybe give the info again.
Yes, you can. There is a dedicated slide before, but just to give you an example, just to give you an idea, there were about 76 eligible proposal and 79, if I don't remember, if I remember well, per open call, and we get to fund 40, respectively 14 and 16 application experiments. So yeah, this is the ratio. I would say, let's be easy, is less than is almost 1 in 4 proposals that get actually selected.
Yeah. But then I will add, so it's around 20%, but then something we do not control at all is the number of proposals we will receive. So it's unfortunately we have a limitation, that is our budget, and this is definitely the key element. And well, the more proposals we receive, and the smallest this success ratio is, but it's something we can't control. So far, it has been quite consistent between the first and second call, around 20%. But we can't say more than that because we don't have any crystal ball or whatever you call it to see what is going to be done.
Just to add on top of it, of course, this is much higher than Horizon application and success rates. So if you have a solution that is really something that you want to bring to the market, for which you need some developments, but really to get to the market, I think that this is the right type of opportunity for you.
Thank you. So moving to the next question, is there a different template for a single and a twin application?
Yes, I was sorry, I forgot completely to mention it, but I'm glad to say it. For this open call tree, yes, we have designed two different templates, one for single application experiments and the other one for twin application experiment, both classical twin, let me say, and low digital maturity twin. They are extremely similar, and I would say almost 90% of the text is the same, but we wanted to differentiate it a bit with a couple of questions that you are requested to address in your application, depending on the type of proposal. This mainly concerns the justification of the low digital maturity of one of the company in case of low digital twin, and the quality of the cooperation is another differentiating factor. Either you are describing the cooperation with the DIGIFED technical partner, or the cooperation among two SMEs or one SME and a mid-cap. This is the key difference.
Thank you. So another question. We already submitted twice, not successfully, a twin application experiment. In the last response, we were advised to contact a partner in the DIGIFED consortium to get some guidance. Can we do it during the digital help desk time slot, or do we need to book an appointment?
I would say that being a specific case, is better to book an appointment directly with the DIGIFED technical partner that can be helpful for you. So I don't know, Isabel, if you wanted to.
It's a twin application,
so it's it's either you either send I would say a mail to the help desk, or maybe you have a digital innovation hub close to one of the company, and then maybe you just can contact them. Otherwise, if you have I don't know whether a French and Norwegian company, maybe you can just contact one of the French partner or Minalogic. But I will yeah, reinforce what Margareta is saying, why it's better to have a one-to-one. I mean, because definitely to give you dedicated guidance, we will go through all the proposals you've submitted, go through the evaluation, and give them one-to-one. So it will not really be in an open help desk, which is more for general question, but whatever you have in mind.
You can still join the help desk to identify the right partner, maybe.
Yeah, and I will just then suggest and think that not to do it too late, because then the more time we have to do on that, and the better it is. Less rush and more time to have one or two exchange about the proposal.
So next question was, for the twin application experiment, do the two partners have to be from different countries? So I think I can answer this one and say yes. So yeah, it was covered. You will have all the slides. If you missed the information, you will have the recording, but the answer is yes, all the projects need to be cross-borders. How long do the projects last for?
12 months, and they should not exceed December 2022.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, because December 2022 is really the end of DIGIFED. So after that, we are not able to transfer any funding that we could declare as cost. So that's really the final limit. And so it has to be 12 months because then it gave us some margin, safety margin, if you have some small delay in the completion of your project. So it's because while considering, because yeah, but it can be shorter, because considering that the call, maybe to give you some timeline, considering that the call is going to end up in beginning of June, then we need around 2 months to complete all the evaluation process. That means, and to complete the evaluation process and the whole notification that we will send, because we sent a personalized notification with all your scores and comments on all your scores. So it takes us a little bit of a time, I would say, to write all of them and to send them to you. So you shall receive them in the very first week of August. Then we consider that August is kind of difficult month, not very ready to work on the standard contract that has to be complete by all the partners and signed. So we foreseen that things cannot really start before, let's say, September, October, I think, to be more realistic. So if you pick October and 12 months, it's then October the least the year after, and then there's only 2 months of safety margin just to go and to end of December. That's again that last year. So it just to give you but of course it can be less than 12 months. Well, usually what we do, and I think it's kind realistic, it's between 9 and 12 months. I think to run a project, implement it in 6 months, that means it's really strict and sharp. So even to go through all the innovation management process, it's a little bit, I would say, almost too short. So more realistic, I think it's between 9 and 12 months. But of course, it's up to you, up to your roadmap and to your needs.
Thank you. So next question is regarding the app. Do you have to use the mobile phone, or can you use the website for networking? So just to let you know, right now we advise to use the web app, which means on the computer. You can also download the new version of the app, which is Blue Morpho app, and then you select the DigiFED community on your phone. But for now, we advise to use the mobile app, the web app, sorry, because simply it looks better on the computer version for the moment. But it will be optimized for the mobile by the end of the next week, I think. So the answer, to shorten the answer is you can use the website and you will be able to use the mobile app. The next question is, can a technical provider, example SME IT company, be the main applicant, or should it be the manufacturing company?
No, it's the same as you prefer in your configuration, as it seems more useful for you. We don't have a preference on the IT provider or the manufacturing company being the leader of the application. You will, both companies will be involved in the same process for contracting. There will be no precedence or special interaction with one or the other. So feel free to decide how it works better for you.
Thank you. So there are still two more questions. So first is, are there any differences for Switzerland applications?
No.
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 Okay.
It's a simple answer.
Yeah, no, there's no difference, and we already have some Swiss company involved in a project that were already selected. So it's like, yeah, any kind of countries, no issue about it. Go forward.
Okay. And last question. So this person apologizes for joining a bit late, so maybe she missed it or he missed it. So he said, I saw mid-caps were also accepted in previous calls. So are there any limits of size for the company applying?
No, it's mid-cap is our limit. So it's less than 3,000 people into our consideration. Employees. So, but there's no limitation, and we very much welcome them. We have some difficulty to attract them, and we are really very interested by them joining the call. And yeah. So we had much more. So we had much more. Well, if you do look at the figures, we had much more mid-cap submitting proposal for the first open call, and surprisingly, they were very much involved in twin project. So we had lots of combination of mid-cap and a smaller company in twin project. But we welcome them whenever they want, single or twin.
Great.
Sorry, Alice.
So just to complete this answer, you have all the details on the limitation of size and turnover and everything on the FAQ section of the website.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure,
yes,
and the guide for applicant.
Yeah, it's all available. And if I may just have I think the FAQ session is still in the progress of to be updated. So most of the answers are correct, but we have some dedicated answers for the first third open call, and I just realized that they're still missing. So I'm just so everything is prepared. I think it's just a matter of one day before it's fully uploaded on the website, the updated FAQ session. And just to come back to I think some advice from Margareta before. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us. Even if you have the feeling that maybe you heard it and you are not sure, do not hesitate to come back either by email to the DigiFed help desk or live. It's really typically the kind of question that can be provided during the live help desk. And if we get more questions about this kind, we will try to make sure that it's reflected in the FAQ session, because maybe something is missing, is not clear. Maybe we miss the way to communicate about it. And so do not hesitate to come back and ask these questions. Do not be afraid. That might be maybe the 10th or 20th person to ask a question. It's not an issue. Things have to be clear for you, and just to be sure that you follow all the eligibility criteria, because we find it really pitiful when a project is missed because one of basic eligibility criteria is not reached. For instance, when we have two companies from the same country submitting a proposal, please avoid it. We still have it, and it's always pitiful because, well, they did work on that, but they just meet that criteria, and that's too bad.
Just for sort of advertising, this afternoon there is the DLAG desk. So if you have questions still pending after this session, you can also connect this afternoon from 3:30 to 4:30. There will be one of our colleagues from AVL available there to address your questions.
Okay, so I think we've reached the end of the questions. I don't know if Margherita or Isabel, you want to add something? No, it's okay.
No.
All good. So thank you very much to all of you for your participation. Thank you very much to Margherita and to Isabel for all this information. Very useful. So again, everything will be recorded and will be made available for you, the slides as well. And you are automatically registered to the next webinar, so don't forget to join. Really, if you want to see how the app works and how to register, it will be very useful for you, especially if you want to use the matchmaking. So I'm sorry I insist on this, but it is seriously, it's important if you want to use the tool.
Indeed.
So a huge thank you to everybody, and I hope to see you next week. And as Margherita said, don't hesitate to join the help desk.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all.
Have a very
Have
nice
a nice
day.
day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.